mistakes He will forgive. May the work I've done, oh Lord, speak for me. The work I've done, it seems so small. Sometimes it seems like nothing at all. But when I stand before my God, I want to hear Him say, well done. May the work I've done speak for me. May the service I give speak for me. May the service I give speak for me. When the best I try to live my mistakes, He will forgive. May the work I've done, Lord, speak for me. The work I've done, it seems so small. Sometimes it seems like nothing at all. But when I stand before my God, I want to hear Him say, well done. May the work I've done,
I think he's looking over. You got one.
Carrie Wareback in Itta Bena, Mississippi. She was the second child in a family of 7 girls. Her oldest sister, Aunt Claudia, was the first child, who was born to Miss Carrie Ware and Mr. William McCullough. Then Ruby, then Aunt Charlotte were born. The family moved to Mr. Henry Ware's place, Grandpa's, in Browning after Aunt Charlotte was born. Then Aunt Magnolia, Aunt Julia, Aunt Fannie Lee, and Aunt SMA were born. Ruby attended the Dobie School in Browning, where Mr. B.J. McCullough, called Ben James by Ruby and others, was one of her first childhood friends. He was also the half-brother of her oldest sister, Aunt Claudia. Mr. McCullough could not be with us tonight because of an illness, but he did send his regrets and a letter. Miss Fannie Ware from Jackson will read his remarks.
You got 40 more years.
Dear Ruby, I regret that I cannot be there with you in the celebration of your birthday and to bring back memories of years gone by. But do you remember when we attended the Dobie University, Dobie School, located in the big city of Browning, with an estimated population within the city limits at that time less than 25? Do you remember when you had to walk 2 miles across the muddy roads because there were no school buses to ride? During the winter, do you remember by the time the one-room university got warm inside, if it got warm at all, it was time to go home? By today's standards, I would say that Dobie School met the needs of its students. Nevertheless, we learned to read and write. Ruby, the quiet, plump little girl with a round face. Ruby, the young lady. Ruby, the senior citizen. I wish you much, much happiness. I salute you. May God bless you. Ben James.
Ruby married Mr. Arthur Ransom in 1923 in Moorhead, Mississippi. Their son, Frank, was born in 1924. Ruby later moved to Browning to Grandpa's place and married Mr. Booker T. Moore Sr. in November of 1929. Booker and Ruby had their first 6 children: Ernest, Annie Ruth, Booker Jr., Carrie Lee, Philip Henry II, and George Will. Her brother-in-law, Van, married Miss Georgia Willis in 1940. She will come and tell you about the young adult days that she spent in Browning. She will also tell you about their baby girls.
In 1940, I met this beautiful, gracious lady. One was loving and kind. She is worthy of being honored. The honoree is Ruby Beck Moore. I was married to her brother-in-law, the late Van Moore. We all lived together as one big happy family. The major event happened. Our mother-in-law, who was a midwife, delivered Ruby's baby, Martha Jean, on April the 7th, 1942, just before 12 midnight. And my baby girl was delivered on April the 8th, around 2 a.m. This was a happy occasion for the entire family. We were all members of the Morning Star Missionary Baptist Church, where she remained a faithful member. The honoree was a faithful wife and is still a loving mother. Ruby is a faithful Christian who is loyal to her family, her church, and her friends. She knows the entire meaning of friendship and never counts the cost of loyalty. She has the faith of Job the courage of an astronaut, the hope of Columbus, the willpower of Benjamin Franklin, the personality of Dr. Bush, and the goodness and unselfishness of Christ. I feel that the highest tribute can be paid to anyone that he or she is loved by his or her family and comrades. We love you, Ruby, and wish you many more happy birthdays.
As a maturing adult, Ruby moved to town. She held several jobs before she was employed by Mrs. Susie Scales. This is where she met Mrs. Dorothy Brown some 8 or 9 years ago. Ms. Dorothy Brown will tell you some of the moments she shared with Ruby as they were employed by Mrs. Scales.
I don't think of Ruby as a senior citizen. I really don't. I think of her as a dear friend and co-worker. We just happen to be senior citizens. I never thought of her as a senior citizen until her daughter asked me to speak in her behalf as such. Ruby is a good woman. We have worked together for 10 years. The soft smile she greeted me with 10 years ago has been an ever-present source of inspiration. Ruby sometimes had to remind me that she's an old lady. It was hard to tell with all that energy. I'm glad to have had the opportunity to know and work with her. Many happy returns, Ruby.
And now I'd like to introduce Ruby's immediate family members who are present tonight. And as I call your name, I want you to stand and remain standing until you're given instructions to stand.
Oh, my.
Ruby's sister, Mrs. Magnolia Stanley from East St. Louis, Illinois, stand. Charles Dobbin from Venice, Illinois. We start her children. Mr. Frank Ransom of Pendleton, Oregon. Anna Ruth Hunter from Greenville. Mr. Booker T. Moore Jr. of Chicago. I'm yours truly, Geraldine Yates. Philip Henry Moore III of Greenwood. Now I'll start with their children's children. Frank's son, Clifton Ransom. Then we have Carrie's children, Miss Marla Najam from Dallas, Texas. Your husband to stand as well. Mr. Joseph Nanjum. Ms. Chandra Moore of Jackson. Then my children, Ms. Phyllis Yates of Dallas. Ms. Kimberly Yates of Atlanta. I have Philip's children, Jamila of Jackson. Jamila. And Portia of Jackson. Then I have Aunt Julia's, Aunt Red's children. Mr. Jacob Young, Jr. of Madison. He's Would you have your wife, Eula, and daughter to stand, please? Jolie Young of Madison, Illinois. And then I would have Aunt Charlotte's son, James Dobbin. Mr. Booker T. Moore Jr. Your wife is here. Please stand, Foster. Then I have Ruby's aunt, Aunt Murder Ruth. Please stand. Now let me get these nieces and nephews here. Miss Ernestine Moore Barber of Chicago, Illinois. Miss Pamela Johnson. Bio. Okay, let's go to the cousins. Okay, Oline, would you please stand? Ruby's cousin, Fanny and Kimber Ware, both of Jackson. Jasper Ware of Jackson and his wife Helen. I have Ruby's brother-in-law, Mr. Jesse Moore of Browning. Ruby's sister-in-law, Miss Annie Riddle. Where she met her other sister-in-law, Miss Georgia Moore. Now, I think I have all the relatives. If not, please speak now.
To where?
Dr. William Ware and his wife, Lottie. Okay. Is that it? Let's give them all a round of applause. Moment when we light the candles for our deceased relatives of the immediate family. For her father, Mr. Joe Beck, who died in November of 1958, we light this candle. For her mother, Mrs. Carrie Warebeck, who died in October of 1955, we light this candle. For her sister, Mrs. S.M.A. White, who died in April of 1948, we light this candle.
Wait a minute. Fell out.
For her sister, Mrs. Julia Red Young, who died on April 14, 1986, we light this candle. For her spouse, Mr. Booker T. Moore Sr., who died on March 29, 1971, we light this candle. For Mr. Philip Henry Moore II, who died in November of 1938, we light this candle. For her child, for her daughter, Miss Martha Jean Gordon, who died on February 5th, 1964, we light this candle.
Got one more.
For Mr. Ernest Moore, who died on January 15th, 1985, her son, we light this candle.
For the things he has done.
for us, things so undeserved, yet he gave to prove his love for us. The voices of a million angels could not express our gratitude. All that we are or ever hope to be, Lord, we owe it all to Thee. To God be the glory. To God be the glory. To God be the glory for the things He has done. With His blood He has saved us. With His power Jesus has raised us. To God be the glory for the things He has done. Just let us live our lives. Let them be pleasing, Lord, to Thee. And if we should gain any praise, let it all go to Calvary. With His blood He has saved us. With His power Jesus has raised us. To God be the glory for the things, for the things, for the things He has done.
Testing. From the children, Mr. Booker T. Moore, Jr.
It's Queen for the day.
Yes, ma'am. Mother's love become more beautiful with each passing day. Well, this is beautiful. On behalf of her children, I'd like to present this gift to Ruth Moore, our mother.
You open it?
From her grandchildren, Kimberly.
Come on, closer.
A warm smile to greet us, a tender embrace, encouraging wisdom when things don't fall in place. A part of our lives from one day to another, and joy to us always. This is our grandmother. Speaking on behalf of all of your grandchildren, it is with honor that I present you with this gift.
And from the church, Reverend Charles Turner.
This young lady was 15 years old when she joined church. 65 years ago was not yesterday, or was not yesteryear. Sister Moore have been in Morning Star Missionary Baptist Church 65 years. She's been in church longer than I'm old. But in appreciation to Mrs. Ruby V. Moore for your outstanding and dedicated service to the Morning Star Missionary Baptist Church since August of 1926, given on behalf of the officers and members of the Morning Star Missionary Baptist Church, yours truly, Pastor.
That is beautiful.
And from the White House, Washington, D.C. Excuse me? Our warmest congratulations to you on your birthday. You have our heartfelt good wishes for every happiness on this day and always. God bless you. George and Barbara Bush.
That's right there. Let's put this on top of here.
Well, we got a pocket, it's okay.
That's that.
Would you stand? Because you helped Ruby to rear all of her children, as a matter of fact, Auntie helped all of her sisters and brothers rear their children. We present you this gift. Seated.
God's woman,
Well, you'll sit down.
that's what I want to be. This woman, for all the world to see. Him living inside of me, joyfully. God's woman,
sit in there. Man, go on back outside.
Thank you.
We would like to acknowledge and thank Dr. Sandra Scott. Please stand for rendering the music. Let's give her a round. James Stanton, one of our soloists. Dorothy Everett, our other soloist. And Mrs. Louise Dean. And last but not least, we want to thank Ms. Jamola McCaskill for a home-baked birthday cake. You'll get
That's you.
And to all of you, all just say, we like what you're doing for your mother. We say simply but sincerely, thank you. We now have a special rendition of a happy birthday song to Mrs. Ruby Beck Moore. We will eat birthday cakes and we will conclude.
There ought to be love amidst everyone who takes the time to take part in your celebration, 'cause we all know in our minds that there ought to be a time that we can set aside to show just how much we love you, and I'm sure you will agree it couldn't fit more perfectly than to have a family party on the day you came to be. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Always understood that a woman who lives for good should have a date that would be set aside for her recognition, because it should always be just because of the love we see. A woman as dear as she, that we should make it become reality. And we all know everything that she stands for has kept us good to the core, thanks to Ruby B. Moore. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. For your family and friends now to know the way to truth in love and unity to all God's children. It is a great event, and this whole day has been spent in full remembrance of a woman who is living for the good of all who meet her. So let us all begin. We know that love can win. Let it out, don't hold it in. Sing as loud as you can. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
candles and make a wish.
Huh? Blow all
Blow
out?
out your candles and make a wish.
Hip, hip.
Yay! Okay, we can start serving birthday cake. She has the first piece of cake.
All right.
You can have it.
All right. I don't think you should do much of that.
Tastes like homemade cake. It is?
Homemade birthday cake.
Because I don't like these bulk cakes, boy. There you go. Hug or kiss or whatever.
on the